Have you ever wondered why keeping weight off is so hard? And why, when you think about everyone you know, is it hard to find anyone who's actually lost weight and kept it off in the long run? We're living in a society that champions short-term quick fixes and psychologically makes it very difficult to lose weight and keep it off for life. I want to give you hope. I know from working with many clients that healthy, sustainable weight loss is possible. You just need to approach it in a different way than you've done before. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Paula Watson. I'm a Liverpool-based psychologist providing therapy for people struggling with weight, eating disorders and exercise. This is the third video in my weight loss psychology series where I'm sharing truth 2 of 10 hard truths that will help you understand why you struggle with weight and help you feel less alone. Please subscribe if you'd like to catch the whole series, and if you haven't yet watched the introductory video where I introduce all 10 truths, I'll encourage you to check it out. The truth I'm talking about today is that anyone could keep weight off for 12 weeks, but few people keep it off in the long run. Firstly, I want to make clear this is not you. How many people do you know who've lost a noticeable amount of weight and kept it off in the long run? I'll hazard a guess that you answered none or very few. And this isn't because it's not possible. It's because the way people are encouraged to approach weight loss is designed for a short-term quick fix rather than long-term change. And from a psychological perspective, short-term weight loss programs are essentially setting you up to fail. I'm going to explain 5 of the key reasons for this, then provide some starting steps for breaking that 12-week curse. Firstly, 12-week weight loss programs rarely tackle the factors beneath the surface. So we can use an iceberg analogy to demonstrate this. Your diet and your physical activity behaviours are above the surface. Quick fix programs focus on changing these for quick results. But no one teaches you the psychological skills to manage the thoughts, the emotions and the behaviours that have been preventing you being able to manage your weight throughout life. Therefore, when the 12-week programme's over, these are all still there, and soon enough your old habits return. Secondly, 12-week programs don't give you long enough to change at the emotional level. Returning to the iceberg, we've already demonstrated that the changes that happen on a quick fix program are purely on the surface level. You've likely changed your diet and exercise behaviours, but nothing's changed about how you think about your diet, exercise or your body. A deeper level of behaviour change might occur through, for example, watching my YouTube videos, where you start to learn healthier approaches to weight loss and you perhaps start to think, I see it, I'm not sure I fully believe it yet. And that's understandable. Why would you believe it if you haven't yet had any experience of it? To achieve the deepest and most sustainable level of behaviour change, you really need to believe it. I really get this now, this is me. And the 2 things you need to reach this stage, time and personal evidence that you can sustain behaviour change for longer than 12 weeks. A 12-week quick fix programme isn't going to give you either. Thirdly, the short-term approach doesn't support long-term motivation. You go on a 12-week weight loss program, you likely set yourself a target, and that target might be a specific weight or perhaps dropping your dress size. Either way, your sole motivation for adhering to the program becomes that weight target. You become controlled by that target. This might feel exciting when you're doing well, but when you're struggling, it feels like pressure. It might even become a chore that you feel you have to do and you can't wait till it's over. So when that target is met, you no longer have any motivation or reason to continue. Fourthly, quick fix programs are often too restrictive to sustain, hence the 12-week curse. This is perhaps the obvious one that people think of, because essentially, if you follow a miserable diet that involves starving your body and mind, at some point the bubble is going to burst. Finally, the repeated failures you get from quick fix programs build your off-track muscle. So think about when you go to the gym and repeatedly work a muscle, let's say your biceps. Over time, those muscles begin to strengthen and they might grow in size. The same happens when you constantly exercise a psychological muscle. So if you've yo-yo dieted, you've probably felt like you're constantly failing. And every time you fail, you beat yourself up, and this is strengthening your off-track muscle. You're used to being off track, so it's easiest to stay off track. And because you believe you're going to fail, you're far more likely to actually fail. This might sound a bit doom and gloom, but there is hope. I've worked with many clients who've come to me feeling helpless. They feel like they've failed. They feel like it's their own fault for never being able to keep weight off longer than 12 weeks. But once they have the courage to step out of their comfort zone and ask for help, we work together and I help them understand why they've stuck and learn the practical skills to move forward. Once you realise it's not you, you can drop the self-blame and start being kind to yourself. And once that dreaded 12-week mark passes and you're still going strong, you begin to get personal evidence that you can do it. Your on-track muscle builds and you start to believe in yourself and trust yourself for the first time in your life. So how do we break the 12-week curse? One of the first things I tell my clients is that any changes we work on together are designed to be forever. And to do this, you need to change at the emotional level, which, as I showed you before, takes time, patience, and requires personal evidence of success. This isn't to say short-term programs can't form a helpful part of longer-term change. So seeing early results can help our motivation. And when it comes to fitness, targeted programs can give us focus, keep things interesting, and help us build skills and knowledge that will benefit us in the long term. For example, like training for a 10K or following a strength building program to help you learn how to integrate strength training into your longer term routine. But for long-term weight management, these programs need to be part of a whole lifestyle change and supported by more sustainable motivation that goes beyond just getting to a certain weight. You need to be clear about why it's important for you to make changes and plan how you'll keep going beyond the end of the program. So drop the weight loss target, stop beating yourself up, and start focusing on gradual, meaningful, long-term change. And when the changes you make are enjoyable, doable, and sustainable, there's no reason why you can't keep them up. Yes, weight loss is likely to be slower, but any weight you lose will stay off. And this can be challenging to do alone when you've never done another way. But a good way to start would be to watch my sustainable weight loss playlist, where I explain many practical steps for establishing a realistic, healthy lifestyle that you can keep up. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe, as I'll be back next week with episode 4 of my weight loss psychology series, where we're going to explore how you know if you have disordered eating. And if you feel ready to reach out for help, I offer one-to-one weight loss therapy in Liverpool and online, so please drop me an email for a free discovery chat.